Right, so here we are. We're here to look at finding ways of how lines cross, finding the point at which lines cross. Now, here's a couple of lines, nice easy ones. So let's just do a quick sketch, and we can see from our sketch the sort of thing we're trying to find. So we've got two lines, so let's just very quickly sketch them. The first one, y equals 2x plus 1, cuts at the point y equals 1, and it's got quite a steep gradient of 2, so that probably looks a bit like that. That's my 2x plus 1 there. The other one goes through at plus 5 and is not quite so steep, so it's probably going to be a bit like that, and that's my line x plus 5, and that there is the point of intersection. Now, it might be that we're able to, if that were to fall on a nice, easy grid line, we could work out what our value of x and y was, and that would be great. But what if it doesn't? What if these numbers are a bit trickier? How do we solve them using only algebra? Well, we'll leave that picture there, and let's have another look at solving these two equations. Now, the thing is, if these two lines cross, we are looking for the point where they cross over, then basically this thing here must equal that thing there. So let's write that. We just write down, well, 2x plus 1 must equal x plus 5 at the point we're interested in. So let's just swap everything around. I'll take this x over here, and it becomes a negative x, so I get 2x minus x. And I'll take this 1 over here, and it becomes a minus 1, because it's changing sides. And then there it is, that leaves us with x, 2x minus x is just x equals 4. And that's lovely. But that's only half the solution. We have to find out what y is. Well, we know what y is because up here we're told that y equals x plus 5. Well, if x is 4, then y must equal 4 plus 5, which is 9. So I reckon that that point of intersection is the point 4, 9. And it looks like it is, from that very quick drawing. It looks like we've got that right. Okay. So basically, when we're presented with two equations with y equals on both of them, make them equal to each other and solve for x, and then replace for y. Okay, that's fine. Except we get numbers like this. We don't have nice 2's and 1's. We're getting some trickier numbers. How do we do it? Well, we do it in exactly the same way. And this is why we teach you to work equations through methodically at the same time. Because when the numbers get a bit trickier, then you can't just have a look at it and kind of work out what you think the answer might be. You've got to follow the process. So I'm making this one equal to that one. I'm writing it down. So let's get all the b's on one side. So I'm going to take that 3.2b over here. That's going to give me 1.6b minus 3.2b. I know it's not pretty, but stick with us. And this one here, 8.2, comes over here and goes negative. So we get 5.1 minus 8.2. So 1.6 minus 3.2 gives us negative 1.6b. And 5.1 minus 8.2. Gives us negative 3.1. And then to get b in its own, I have to divide both sides by this here. I want to get rid of that. Right? So I divide both sides by negative 1.6. And that will just give me b on its own on the left hand side, so I'm happy with that. And then negative 3.1. Negative 3.1 divided by negative 1.6, so we should get a positive answer. And maybe we get 1.94. That's close enough. And that's great. So that's the value of b with the two things equal. We might want to know what the cost is. Just let me section this off a little bit here to try and keep it reasonably tidy. We know that the cost equals I can use this equation. So 1.6 times 1.94 plus 8.2. I'm using this equation here. 1.6 times my value of b. So times 6 plus, and I reckon the cost is 11.3. Okay, so for the value of b, the cost is 11.3, if my calculations are correct. Okay, we'll do one more with big numbers this time, but it's the same process. We just make this side equal to that side. 120p plus 300 equals 200p plus 45. I didn't like all those negatives I got last time, so I think I'm going to take this one over here. So 200p minus 120p is 80p. Ditto this one. 300 minus 45 is 255. So just to make some room for myself, 80p equals 255. If I divide everything by that 80, then I get p equals 255 over 80. Which I got to be 3.19, give or take. And then I replace that back in an equation. Well, let's take this one here. So if I go 120 times 3.19 plus 300, and that should give me cost figure of 682.5. Okay, and that's the quickest way to solve these problems where you're trying to find where the lines cross.